All right, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen John Wick Chapter 3 yet, turn this off ASAP.
And the camera is like.
All right, Dave, let them know what was it?
Oh, that joint was all that. Hey, dog, the Avengers should have called it John Wick. That's all I'm saying. That's all they need. Matter of fact, there's even a scene where he was like, fine, I'll do it myself. So, you know,
Literally had a
literally, like, please go see my man Keanu, like, on the super strong career redemption arc. Like, after the Matrix, like, you thought it was a wrap for my man. So, like, yeah, he was on his last leg for a little bit, but nah, ever since he started playing John Wick, he's just been like, yeah, I'm thinking he's back.
All right, Caitlin, you want to give your summary?
Sure. So I didn't see any of the other two John Wick movies.
No! I gave him a breakdown. I gave him a breakdown on the way.
But credit to the writers because they did make it easy to understand.
I will say this
if
one.
You haven't seen
if you haven't seen the other ones, this one was a little easier to jump right into, except for the fact that it literally picks up right at the end of part 2, but they don't really like reference too much. You do miss out on a little bit of like, you don't understand the world, the dynamics, like the significance of the coins, the markers.
But I understood that the coins were between them to be like, hey, I'm here to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, my man Braun kind of broke it down even more vicious than it has even been explained before in the first two. It's like a social contract, like, between two people. Like, I was like, okay.
You got that when you first ended it to the cab driver, and then like you understood that like it picked up from the end of the second movie because they were counting down how much time you had left. So you understood like they did some incredible where it picked up immediately after the next movie, despite however many years it has been.
But you're not gonna understand why he says, I understand. Unless you see part 1 and 2. You didn't get that.
Justin explained it to me.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So I explained that it was because of
don't let him see that. Yeah.
That's why he didn't say anything. But they also did make that clear in the movie because they kept referencing because of a puppy, because of a dog.
Yeah. But it's a little bit more safe than that when you see it happen live. Yeah, I mean they did. It was a good job. You're right. You could jump into it and just
you really could. It's one of those rare trilogies. I put it up there with like Skyfall, Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, Dark Knight Rises. It's like you really should see Batman Begins before you see Dark Knight.
But you might be alright.
But you might be alright. You really should see Casino Royale before you go see Skyfall. But you could be alright.
I mean, it's just like Avengers. But it's just like, for instance, I never saw Iron Man 1. So therefore, I can understand the cheeseburgers reference, but I can still understand the movie.
Right.
I mean, but that's like a very deep reference too. You wouldn't even get that unless, like, I didn't even get that, and I seen it like years ago, but until like I saw somebody explain it. So I mean, there are that's like more like a little secret hidden nugget.
That's what I mean. So there was nuggets that you two would understand more deeply, but it wasn't so complex that I wouldn't be able to understand it.
Like you're not going to understand I Am Iron Man unless you've seen it.
Right.
Like that's like perfection right there. The accumulation of like 10 years and so on.
And you're not going to understand Doctor Strange's part in Endgame and stuff unless you
right.
Like you like, who's this bald white chick like coming in here?
Right.
Just handling Bruce Banner like that.
But
there were and then there were a lot of new characters in John Wick. Holly Berry's character was new, even though clearly they had a lot of history. All the history's explained.
Like the chick at the ballet, like she was new.
She was brand new. Braun was brand new.
Hey, my man, the subtle savage, the silent assassin with that sword, he was brand new too.
Oh yeah, John Wick's fanboy. Yeah, John Wick's fanboy was brand new.
Hey, low key, I did miss Common. Common was a great character in the last one.
Yeah,
like he was like his most worthy adversary. Like my man in the little samurai sword did give him some burn too a little bit, but Common had him tussling down them steps. That was hilarious to me. They kept on getting up and getting back at it. Like
now we're getting into the spoilery part of it. So. Like 5-second countdown, like we've just been dancing around. Like this is all right. Spoilers. The plot of John Wick is the plot of like a Batman Beyond episode from way back when. Do you remember the girl who was a part of the Society of Assassins?
Yeah.
And then she betrayed
World Flush Game.
No, not the Royal Flush Gang. The girl who the actual.
Oh yeah.
The girl from the hood.
Yeah,
I remember the first time she's introduced, she betrays the assassin code.
Then
they're like, "Well, what happened to her?" They're like, "Oh, she's on the run." But then in episode 2,
she comes on that get back.
Yeah, she on that get back. And that episode of Batman Beyond from like 2001 is literally the plot of John Wick. Like
y'all kicked me out the squad. Okay, bet. I'm going to smack out all of y'all. I'm not stopping till I get everywhere. That's one of these bodies drop. Like basically, that's it. Right there.
But this one, I think the fourth movie is gonna probably be even more so because this one
I didn't even think it was possible.
Everything he was doing was really still survival.
Yeah, right. Now he's on that like I'm on the attack, on the offensive.
Yeah, the plot of John Wick Chapter 3 is that basically he's trying to survive a $14 million bounty that just jumped up to a $15 million bounty.
Because they saw how real he was in the first hour of being out.
Yeah.
He couldn't do nothing with you.
He had some friends who gave him lightweight help, like an hour head start, patching up a knife wound. Very lightweight help.
And the high table is so savage, they decided to like basically murk all these men as well.
Or punish them severely for having given him the slightest of help.
Basically take all their influence and their status away, if not their life.
And that's what makes John Wick like go on the run. He reunites with Halle Berry's character, who apparently he helped get her daughter say like somewhere safe way back when. That's what made Halle Berry owe him a marker. They go to try to clear some things up. It just all goes to hell when they shoot her dog and she spazzes out.
Yeah, but her dogs have a bulletproof vest on. They're killers. I think that was my favorite scene though, was the dogs.
And once they got my man in the jaws, they catch him.
Her dogs take nut shots to a brand new level. Like they just like
ripping their arms like a lawnmower cord, like trying to start to drive lawnmower. Dogs like.
And her dogs are super loyal to her because when the other guy is like, "I want your dog," the dog is like whimpering, like, "You really gonna like? If you say so, okay. But you really gonna do this?"
And her dogs were beyond guard dogs. Like they were attack dogs. Like.
And then, like when John Wick was sitting down in there, they sat down and just stared at him.
Her dogs were the Unsullied. Like they waited to see what Daenerys did. Do you accept the surrender? No. I
guess that's a spoiler for it. This is just full of spoilers.
Yeah. Game of Thrones spoilers. Her dogs waited to see like, are we accepting the surrender or are we burning the city? Are we burning the city? Are we burning it down? All right, dude. Let's get it. Like her dogs, like, but that her character then disappears.
Like that was like a illest like 15 minutes. For real talk, she only had like 15, 20 minutes of screen time. But in that 15, 20 minutes, she accomplished a lot.
She was getting busy.
I mean, her character's probably definitely gonna come.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Season 4, you can already tell. Season 4,
episode 4.
Yeah, chapter 4. You can already tell they're setting up for all-out war. Yeah. Like high table versus like the
Fishburne, Halle Berry probably. No,
John
Wick for sure.
Well, I mean, like that's what he said too, and he said Parabellum, like if you want peace,
you gotta prepare for war. Yeah.
And said Parabellum and prepare for war.
I had no idea. That's what that meant. I was like, okay, that's just a cool little Italian title.
Some things are still left in interpretation. They're not gonna clear up until chapter 4. Like, for example, when at the end of the movie, super spoiler alert last time. At the end of the movie, when John Wick helps close down the Continental, right? Because the Continental gets deconsecrated.
That's the most savage word I've ever heard in my life that I never knew existed before today. I'm about to start saying that just in my regular everyday life. Yeah, bro, deconsecrated.
Rolling the Popeyes and be like. And they be like, "Hey, we out of French fries. This Popeyes is consecrated." Right?
Hey, that was so hard.
They deconsecrated the Continental, which basically meant it was no longer a safe zone. You can conduct business. You can kill people. It's no longer like a safe space or a sanctuary. So then everybody rolls in to try to collect the John Wick contract, and John Wick holds it down with the black dude who is basically like he's like the hotel manager. Like they hold it down, and then finally the villain of this, who is basically Taylor from Billions,
who I don't know anything about because I never seen her.
Yeah, she has a very similar role to her role in Billions. And she calls and they're like, all right, let's do a parlay. So they do a parlay and basically, oh, by the way, at one point John Wick met with a guy who was higher than the table.
Yeah, he's above the table.
He told John Wick he could be all good if he went to kill Winston. And made John Wick chop off his finger. His ring finger.
And his wedding ring over to him.
But did he say ring finger? Like, could he?
I don't think he didn't say. He did. I don't know why.
He said, John, show me. And
I guess that's the only way.
I guess that's the one you don't really eat too much. You could probably still get a grip on a weapon or something. I don't know.
But also, it meant something.
I guess symbolically though, it is symbolic.
He said, "Shed your weakness," and
I mean, he was his wedding finger. You know, his whole motivation is like remembering his wife. So him turning over like his wedding ring is pretty, significant.
Yeah, and that's what got him. That's what cleared up the whole John Wick contract thing. But it still wasn't cleared up.
Yeah, he still had to go like Merc Winston.
Yeah, he still had to fight his way through the Japanese gang that was coming at him. They have this vicious motorcycle scene.
Sure.
And he fights them all the way to the Continental, gets one hand on the Continental.
My man, the bellhop, whatever, the manager, he came outside. He was like, watch yourself, basically.
Like, told them to shut it down. The Japanese gang follows him into the Continental. That's when they get deconsecrated, when Winston refuses to surrender the Continental. There's a war for the Continental. John Wick and the manager of the Continental hold it down, and then at the end they do a parlay, and she the main villain, Taylor from Billions, tells Winston, look, you can. I see you, all this was a show of strength, so you can keep the Continental. I agree, you can keep the Continental, but John Wick has to die. Winston turns on John Wick and shoots him 3 times off a building. But it was very confusing as the audience because he didn't see John Wick survives, basically.
Yeah, clearly you knew he wasn't there.
But he doesn't seem too broken up about it. And also he didn't do any headshots. It was almost
right, yeah, because I was like, it's almost to the point where like, okay, they planned it so that it would be non-fatal so that he could get away.
But that fall off the building though was like
that fall off the building was
if you look at it based on physics, like he hit like certain like things that would de-accelerate his fall, like he hit the ramp, then like he hit like the fire escape on the other side, I think. Then I think he hit like one more thing. So all those kind of things. And plus his suit is like armored. You gotta remember that. So,
yeah.
You would have known that from part 2. You'd have to see.
No, there was a scene in there where they shoot where Halle Berry shoots him, and the bullet.
But it's kind of like unless you knew like what the suit was made of.
Basically, his John Wick suits are the suits from Kingsman.
Okay.
Like that's
it's armored. Like
it's long story
that makes
short.
more sense because I'm like, okay, like I get the other people with the super.
That's why at the beginning, while he was able to block the knives, at first I had forgot. I was like, no, he's really just eating knives to the chest, to the arm. I was like, oh
nah, his suits are the suits from Kingsman. That's the reason why it was so significant that the guy in the very beginning. A guy, one of the assassins breaks the contract and tries to kill him 10 minutes early.
I gotta go look up the IBBM. I swear that's Boban Marjanovic from the 76. That big 7'6" tall man. But I gotta confirm that.
So that there was just a whole lot of like things.
So what was your guys' favorite scene?
Oh, what was your favorite scene?
For sure. Like I mean, the library fight with Boban. That's what I'm calling for now. Leading up into the fight in the warehouse with the guys with the knives, where they're just throwing like all kind of knives at the end. And the way he killed that last yeah, it's like the very first like 10 minutes of the movie, like they got it.
And Justin?
I definitely love the first scene. And quick breakdown. The first scene is, if you was wondering why John Wick, if you see the movie and you wonder why John Wick's combat skills fall off a little bit, it's because he loses his finger by the time he comes back to the Continental. I mean,
even more than that though, like he was just so wary of everything that had been going on. Like he was like a constant nonstop assault and barrage on him from the beginning of the movie to the end. So naturally his stamina gonna wear down.
So my favorite scene ended up being the fight scene between him and the Japanese gang when John Wick was worn down, lost a finger. He wasn't at his peak. Like the scene in the beginning, Dave is telling you, was like John Wick Super Saiyan like decked out. Like by the time we get to my scene, him versus the Japanese game, this is a desperate Goku launching a spirit bomb with the black hair. Like,
I guess spoilers, you know, all the way caught up.
if you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, Goku throwing the spirit bomb at Frieza, I don't know what to do for you.
That was like 1995, right?
I'm sorry.
But low key, Dragon Ball Super spoiler. All right, so that was my favorite. Dave's favorite scene was the intro scene. John Wick at his peak. My favorite scene was John Wick at his lowest.
I mean, technically, he wasn't at his peak. He did just take a knife to like the
right.
And he had to go.
His peak of the movie.
Yeah, his peak of the movie. Because it only got worse for him after that.
I think I know what Caitlin's gonna say. Call Holly Berry, but tell them what's your favorite scene.
I already said my favorite scene though, and that was the dogs just going ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it was the
Holly
dog.
Berry still related. Holly Berry or Jason? Holly Berry or Jason.
Yeah, it was all right. Scale let's do scale 1 to 5.
Oh, you already know
what
the time.
would you recommend the movie? Or scale 1 to 5?
Stamp recommend the movie.
Make sure you go see the first two as well. Like, it's hard for me to even rank which of the John Wicks is better than any of the others. Like, they're all just so vicious. Like, I'd have to go on. I don't know. I'd have to really, really sit down and break them down. But they're all like so well done. Like, it's hard to call. I mean, maybe 2 and 3 got a little bit more carnage and mayhem just because of the scales and how everything plays out for part 1. But I mean, they're all super recommended. Like, super recommended. Like Caitlin said, you don't gotta see the first 2, but you're really selling yourself short if you don't.
Right, exactly.
There's no reason to not see it.
I give it like a 4.8 out of 5. Like 4.8 out of 5. And I think that like the only reason I'm saying that is because I think they're actually setting up chapter 4 to somehow, some way be even better. Like the all-out war movie is coming. Like the assassins versus the high table. Like, so that's the only reason why I'm not giving it a 5 out of 5. I feel like they purposely set the movie up so that it had a kind of like to be continued feel to it. You know, it wasn't like Skyfall was like climactic.
Yeah, like
you that could have been like they didn't have to do Spectre. They did it. Spectre's great. Bond 25 is obviously going to be vicious, but literally, if Daniel Craig had died after Skyfall, it would have been chill. Like that's how vicious Skyfall was. Like there's really 2 other parking spaces.
But she really wanted to
park that way.
Be there.
I gotta go.
All right, so Caitlin, what did you give the movie?
I guess like a 4. I feel like if you like it, then you're liking it by the reaction of the theater. But for me personally, you know, I wasn't really too into it.
Yeah, we saw it in IMAX.
You already know what
oh yeah, go ahead. 5 stars. So go see John Wick Chapter 3. It's
and 1 and 2.
And 1 and 2. Botsy out.
Botsy out.
Oh, I don't know. Peace.
Oh,
my fault. I said I'm not on Botsy. Peace. I support.
Dave's Corner.
Dave's
John
Corner.
Wick off Chapter 3. We out here.